Hey you guys, it's me Kiana coming at you again today, and I wanted to come at you guys. I just got finished eating my lunch, and I wanted to come at you guys and talk a little bit about some of the changes that I'm doing mentally, and some of the changes that you will probably see in me. And I just want you to recognize, and also recognize where it comes from, recognize why I'm changing, and also maybe do some changing yourself. I think that when you're going through a any kind of extreme weight loss, or if you're trying to embark on any kind of extreme weight loss, it's it comes along with a physical change, meaning your body shape or your body changes, but it also has to come along with mental changes, because you are losing somewhat of the person that you were before. And sometimes we need to not only shed pounds, but we need to shed the mindset that gave us those pounds or led us to those pounds. And many of you know my story. Many of you have followed me for the now, 10 months that I've been on YouTube. And many of you have supported me throughout the whole journey. You were there when I first started YouTube. I first started YouTube, actually, if you go back to the videos, I was on the Master Cleanse diet, and I lasted for 6 days. And that's how I actually started doing YouTube. The person that inspired me to do YouTube, the person that I mainly watched, was Salima77. And that is the person who inspired me to do YouTube. She is a full-figured woman that just has it going on. Her makeup game is tight, and when I saw her, it somewhat shifted a change in me for the better, as far as, yes, I had this high esteem, but I sometimes would mute it so that I fit into the mold that people wanted me to be. And I talked to her, whether on messages, and I've talked to her on the phone as well. And she is the inspiration for me coming out, as far as the Kiana that I tried to mute for so long. And that's why I started YouTube. And that's the person that I have always paid homage to, because that's the person that I looked up to and still continue to. But I just wanted to talk to you guys today about how sex is so taboo with Christians. And the funny thing is, I've even found that sex is so taboo with Christians, even in marriage. As you all know, the Word of God tells us that the actual sex or making love is for marriage, and is for reproducing, and is intended for marriage. So, with that being said, I just simply don't understand why it's so taboo. And then a part of me do understand. I'm going to talk right now about some things that I have never revealed. I'm going to talk to you about some things that I am working on, and this is why you'll see certain changes in me, regarding anything regarding sex, or openly talking about it, of course, with dignity and respect, and also, as I stated before, remaining a lady doing so. As you all know, who have really followed me and followed my journey, you know that I was sexually abused, and I was sexually abused by someone who thinks, even to this day, that I don't remember, and think that I don't recall. The reason why they think this is because I've never told them. And a lot of people say, well, go ahead and tell them and release that, but I'm not ready for that. The reason why is because I've always worried about others' feelings. And this is another change that's coming about in me. And this is why I voice my opinion when I see things on YouTube. This is why when I don't like anything or something that was done to me, I voice my opinion, because the old Kiana would just raise hell, but she wouldn't voice her opinion without raising hell. Are you understanding what I'm saying? I would fight and fuss, but get nowhere. At the end of the day, my point was not made because people only focused on me blowing up and zapping out basically. But now I'm learning to express myself, say it, get it out, forgive and forget if needed, and move on. And if I can't forgive and forget, just always keep my mind aware of what the person did, but also love them despite, and move on. And because of this, I this is why you'll see a change in certain things. If you go back on certain videos, you'll see a shift all of a sudden. And I think this is necessary. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this because I need to do this in order to be successful, and also finding the source of why I have turned to the refrigerator for comfort for so many years. Now, as I stated, I'm not ready to. I'm not ready for that person to know that I remember what they did, what they allowed done to me, and I've always, like I said, worried about other people's feelings. And simply because I do worry about other people's feelings, I don't want to hurt that person and let them know that I know what they did or what they allowed done to me. And it sounds strange, you guys, because you're like, a part of me was worried about why should I care about that person? But who I am as a person, I don't want to hurt the person because they are still a part of my life, and they are still a family member. And I just rather deal with my issues and deal with internally what it has done to me, and then hopefully one day get to that point where I can express it to that person as well. And I'm saying all this about the past sexual abuse because a lot of people, in fact nobody knows this about me, and I'm revealing it now, is that I was taught that sex is a negative thing. And after going through sexual abuse and then hearing that it's a negative thing, and hearing that it's a bad thing and a dirty thing, even if they didn't say it outwardly as far as what I just said and using those words, the aura around the issue of sex was not a positive one. It was not one that was nurturing. It was not one that was sensitive. It was always in a negative connotation to it. It always had that to it, or a negative undertone to it. So as being a child, you develop your own conclusion or assessment to what you think that thing is. And I grew a conclusion or a way of thinking that sex was not something that was great or wonderful or something that you talk about. And because of that, although it hasn't affected my marriages, my previous marriage or this marriage, it still is in the back of my head. Yes, I fight through it, but it's still always there, and it's always like an internal fight in my head about it. And I think that I'm saying all this to say that, we as Christians, I don't know if it's been a lot of sexual abuse in the church with members in their past, or when it became so filthy and dirty to even talk about sex, even if you're doing it in a ladylike manner, even if you're doing it in a non-vulgar way. It's still something that people shake their head about and say, no, 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 or that's ridiculous, or that doesn't make sense. And I don't know why we think like that and when we got like that. And I don't even know if people are willing to heal from thinking like this. Because I myself, the reason why I am starting to do the adult reviews, as I told you guys before, is because I want to get out of that shell of thinking that way. It's nothing wrong with enjoying your husband and, enjoying each other and growing and experiencing. But at the same time, I have this internal, thing in the back of my head, this internal fight that's saying that it's filthy and dirty. And I tested it last night by making sure I explained some of why I'm going to be doing the reviews, and also I, I explained why and what reviews I'll be doing and all that. And amazingly, I only got about 20 comments at tops, but yet I got about 350 views. And I think this is because I think that we as women, we've so used to people talking dirty, and we're so used to people making it sound filthy and dirty, that sometimes even if we weren't sexually abused, we automatically believe that talking about it and expressing it is going to be dirty, or it's going to be filthy, and it's going to be vulgar. I think this is because we are accustomed to hearing it. And because of that, we are coming up internally, unconsciously, with this notion that even if you talk about it, it's an automatic thing. Our brain thinks that it's going to be dirty, or it's going to be vulgar, or it's going to be classless, or whatever. I just think that. By just the lack of comments last night, it shows that A, a lot of people are afraid to voice out about it. B, it shows that a lot of Christians, and including some of the Christians that watch me, are very judgmental, and in fact, they don't understand the Word of God. Even if they can quote scriptures to you, the fact is that I'm a married woman, and I cannot defile the marriage bed, and I am too supposed to explore and enjoy my husband, and as well as he's supposed to enjoy me. So that's another option. C, I think that a lot of people, like I said, automatically are so used to vulgarity when it's discussed about sex, that I think that they assume maybe that I will branch off and start being vulgar as well, which that's not a part of who I am, so I won't. So you don't have to worry about that. But I'm trying to explore why I have taken on this way of thinking. I'm trying to change this way of thinking for a healthier me. I'm trying to give myself permission to be a woman, and permission to love all that goes along with being a woman, and not think because of something that was done to me that was filthy and dirty and sinful, for me not to take on that same attitude, that that person put and did to me, and transfer that attitude to my life today. So I'm trying to change that, and I hope that we can all embark on this journey together. As I told you guys, be prepared, because with this weight loss journey, you're going to see a change in my body, but you're going to see a change in me as well. And I think this is not only healthy, but I think it's necessary. And with that being said, please don't be afraid to comment. I would love to find out if I am the only one that thinks this way, and if I am all alone in this world. And I look so forward to your comments and all, and I will be here trying to change, and I'll be changing right before your eyes. So on that note, be blessed, you guys. I will talk to you later, and don't forget to comment.